Now we're gonna. It's a very easy question, but we're gonna. One of the things that I love about African American culture is music, and we are the goats of music. And let nobody ever forget that. And if you ever forget that, I ask you just to bring up somebody on Michael Jackson's name, and if you can do that, then we talk about the rest. We still got Aretha in the chamber. Still got Steve in the chamber. Still got Jay-Z in the chamber. Still got Tupac. I mean, we got them to spare. So we gonna listen to the song, and then y'all gonna answer the question. Now, by the river, a little tent. Like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh yes it is. Then I go to my brother. And I say, brother, help me please. But he wind up knocking back down on the knee. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you have it. There it is. Who's the original singer of this civil rights anthem? Those don't know, this was considered to be one of the major songs of the Second Rebellion. I do not call it the civil rights because nobody has a right to give me any rights. Only God Almighty can give me rights. So therefore, I was rebelling for my rights. I was not asking for civil rights, but that is the definition. All right. So we got 30 seconds to go. 7 people answer. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on.
What are some of the emotions that come that you feel when you hear the song?
I think this song brings emotions of like old hymnals. Like I think of leaning on the everlasting arms when I think about it. Like, you know, being weary but mustering up the energy to keep going.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I want to just echo that. Definitely, like struggling but mustering up the energy to keep going, which is what I think Black people do every single day when we have to show up in the world. And it's just finding that, like, it's been a long time, but we tired. We're gonna keep going,
Right.
for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I just want to add that it also makes me think about how important music has always been to the movement and how much of an inspiration it's always been to the movement, and how, I think now we don't have as many artists who are necessarily as conscious or speaking to the same things, and that's an element of the struggle that is missing, and I think something that we need, and it also, like, as I hear that song, I think that, like, the words still resonate true today, as Aaron was saying, that we still are, we're still hoping and praying and working towards that change is going to come. But every day that we push forward, and so I still feel inspired by that song, and hope that we get more artists like that, not temporary as well.
I wanna put out what Coach AD said. I'm liking Coach AD. Coach AD, you're right. Too hard living, but afraid to die. That's that. And then the next line is equal as possible, because I don't know what's going on beyond the sky. That's a very, very important thing we'll talk about, especially during the Martin Luther King talk that we're going to have in 3 weeks or so.
I also wanted to. Sorry, go ahead. No, I just also wanted to add, in preparation for this, Anthony and I was going through the questions. So one of the things we were talking about in preparing for this question was how so many of our music is sampled from earlier generations as well. And it made me think about this one song. I'm not even gonna lie, it's a country song, and I don't know who the original country singer is, but it's Old Country Road. And there is a calypso, so not soca, back in time, like a calypso song that is its own variation of Old Country Road, but with Trinidadian country, like towns. And for the I had to be like in college when I realized that was actually an American song. That was a country song. It had nothing to do with Trinidad. It was sampled all of these years later. And I think that it just goes to it, as we all know here, country music was also started by Black people. So I'm gonna still say that was our music. And we've been sampling even when you're not just looking at a 2000 R&B artist sampling something from the 60s. It's like even across our diaspora, we're sampling and changing our music.
Right.
Aaron, what you're saying is so crucial. The transfer of information from one generation to the other has been interrupted. And our youth do not value the words that are coming out of these people's mouths. There's a truth that is universally known. All music is made by young people. So if you're hearing this Sam Cooke, this is what he said when he was in his 20s. You listen to Aretha, you listen to Michael, you listen to Stevie. This is what they were saying. So literally you're hearing yourself talk from another time. And it's very important that when we teach, we have to understand in Africa, we never wrote anything down. All our history is in our music. So that applied to the African American culture means that the history of the redlining, the history of the suffering, the history of how to love, the history of how to relate to your partner is there because your ancestors left it there for you to find out. Those samples are the only thing that they were able to transfer through capitalism to us, because they never made a dime from the money that they made, even though they changed the world. And these are the people that the voices of 400 years of slavery finally released. When you hear Nina Simone, you should hear a woman for the first time having the control of her ovaries. When you hear Stevie Wonder, you should hear the first time somebody is singing as a sprite, as a mystical person that's only here to deliver happiness. When you hear Muhammad Ali, you should hear the only person shouting that he is pretty, when everyone and everything in your world is telling you that you're ugly. The musicians, the artists, anybody that was out to speak was part of the struggle. They were raising money, fundraising, marketing, and those are the cultural skills that I want to be transferred as well. Not just the singing part. The fact that Aretha opened up for MLK, fundraised for MLK. So if we don't have musicians doing that for us today, how would our mission move forward? Because that's what worked during the second rebellion. And now that we're in the third rebellion, it's going to be the same thing. So we need to understand. That's why we need to teach our kids that, so they understand how they can participate. You can't just be singing for money. Trust me, these all the samples, all the billions that were made from rap is because of the samples that were left from our ancestors. They left it for us, and we used it very well. All right.